Hello, everyone. Mike Arnold's here, co-founder of Pat Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino. By the way, I haven't done this in a while. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing, ringing that bell, and hitting the like button. All right. How is everyone doing this fine Monday morning? Fed week, big earnings week. Stock buybacks kick in after this week again for a lot of companies. So, Patrick, good morning. Hey ho, waka waka. You really think they'd shock the market with 50? I'd love to see them do 50, but I don't think they're going to do it. Don't think they're willing to shock the market. Good morning, Anissa. So I think it's going to be 25. Good morning, Martinez. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Donald. Good morning, Sterling. Good morning, Options 22. Amazon PE will go negative after earnings from AB. All right. Where do we sit? Very quiet day today. We have Dallas Fed manufacturing coming out at 9:30, so 1 hour after the open. And then just some up bill auctions. So nothing much going on there so far. The stock market, come on. Fairly decent pullback. Lots of profit taking from Friday. Little shift in the undertone. But over that, this has not broken any key levels yet. So, and no significant topping pattern. So we'll be watching to see how much it does pull back today. We'll look at the charts to see if we can spot anything. Every sector is red. Healthcare, sort of defensive, not just consumer defensive, but healthcare and utilities are also defensive things holding up the best. And again, the things that led, like consumer cyclical last week, little profit taking today. And technology, getting some profit taking going in today. Remember, we have some lots of key earnings this week. Fed watch, 25 basis points. Still, market's baking it in, so we shall see virtually 100%. Fear and greed. This will drop on the open, but still in greed mode even with the drop on the open. So it has a long way to pull back even to get into fear mode today. Very minor earnings. I didn't even look at SoFi this morning. After the close, not much going on, really. Tomorrow starts it really going. Tomorrow morning will start it really going. And then Thursday after the close is big. So, where do we sit? This is what, so far, breaking down below Friday's lows, coming back close to the daily rotation zone. But not much now. This will probably be a pausing bar. So I have the harmonics up here. Remember, I'm still expecting on the next rotation up a 41.31. Then we have 41.49, 41.89. So that's where we sit there. What changes that? Again, the major breakdown level is not till 3,900. Even below this 40.30 level, which I've updated some key levels in here, it would just be targeting the bottom of the rotation zone coming in 39.90 to 4,000. So, and just below that's the 200 and the rising 50. There is a lot of stuff to get through before technical damage is done to this market. I'm bumping this level down just a hair right to there, this 40.50 area. So far, providing some pretty decent support. We break down from there, 40.27 to 40.30 is my next key area that I am watching on. Also keeping an eye on this little pattern where it did stair step down. And now we've broken back above this prior little swing high and we're basing. Love this pattern. Dipping below but closing back above. So I'm watching going into the open this area. So also why I bumped it down. I just forgot on the chart. And to the upside, you're into the 1 hour rotation zone. The next target is pretty close though. It was the Friday overnight session, European session before to ramp up into Friday. So 40-60 is key. Yes, there is a clear path move up there. When you start getting above 40-60, it gets a little more interesting. 40-68 and then about 40-76. Again, there's a lot of support down here. So don't get caught off guard with stuff. This is also a fine area if you wanted going in the open. If we did roll over and take out 40-40, here's your next support area right there. You can see that with those minor harmonics. The NASDAQ. I'm going to the most recent swing since this will be a pausing bar. We didn't have a better pausing bar yesterday, but this is now your key area. So if we do break and take out this high from Friday, not today necessarily, do we have a cluster at 12.5 to 12.519. Right now pulling back to the 200. We break below that 11.973 to about 11.936 is the key support zone. A little zone in here. So that's the area. If we do start breaking below these lows, trying to get put in going into the open, here is the key area I've been watching. 973 to 936 on a pullback. You start getting below 936, it is into a still a clear path move. And the next major area is the prior breakout area, 11.719. So that's where that sits. Dow real quick. The Dow still caught in consolidation, still with that close above the 62.5 from Friday, still watching the 34,300 roughly, and then 34,540. Major support is coming in at about 33,450. Other than that, still caught in a huge consolidation range. It's really got to break below 32.9 before I'll get bearish, or real break above about 34.5 before I'll get bullish. The Russell, nothing's really changed. Potential double top still in place, but a long way off from triggering. Pulling back right here to some pretty key area. Going to bump this up just a bit to about 1900. 1900 to 1896 is key support in the Russell. And then there's just a lot of key support in here. If it does break down, the next area a lot of people will be watching is this 1863. But so far, not a major topping pattern here. And this is not a double top. These are just two tops in the same vicinity. All right. Let me get back to the spiders and the Qs. Spiders and the Qs. Again, we'll probably get a pausing bar here with this gap down pre-market trading 402.80. The areas I will be focusing on is the opening on any rally 403.66. That would be a move to Friday's open. Above Friday's open, we then have about 405, and then the close on Friday, 405.67. Support here, bumping this down just a hair. Coming in right about 401.86 to 402. See, and there's a until it really starts breaking down below about 400, that's when I'll get more bearish in the spiders, short-term bearish. Other than that, there's a ton of support in here from last week. A lot of support. Why talk 400 is that's where you get into that clear path move. Again, besides those upside moves, once we break above 408.16, 410.77, 413.39. The Qs. Again, now we can finally get more of a little area up here. 293 roughly trading on the open. 292.30 is first level key support. And then there isn't much. There isn't much until down to 289 going off the daily chart. 290 will be key. We break below 290, then we could get the nice gap fill to about 287.70 right there. So, time to also reverse the harmonics from the last run up. Other than that, the little key area, we don't have a lot of stopping points in here, but 294.65, and then it would be to the close, 296.19. So that's everything with the Qs. Let's see who else is here. Sterling putting in the information. Good afternoon, Charles. Good morning, Christo. Good morning, Wizit. So, Tesla, Brenberg upgrades to buy from hold and reducing their price target. I can't, you know what? Analysts are just a joke. The DAX, sorry, I didn't mean to click there. The DAX still watching. If it does get the close below 14,961, we get another strong rotation up. This potential double is off. Now, what's interesting, if it pauses for a little longer, then you get the rotation zone out of the way, and we could get that quick little return to about 14.6. Other than that, not much going on in the DAX. The notes, watching for the return to the 50, about 113.31. Other than that, yes, this double still is in play potentially, but on a decline to that 50 area, that 113.31, that potential double will be off the table. Dollar index still just caught in the range. This will move after we get the Fed out of the way on Wednesday. Still 102 is major resistance. 101 is major support. And as long as it's in there, it's just chop back and forth trading. Crude looks like it's making that bigger pullback. And that double, remember, turned into a triple. So the minor support area I am watching on this pullback is about 76.88 to 77.19. Remember, key to invalidate the triggered double bottom is a close below 74.36, so that is a long way off. But we're watching for the pullback now with the cycles getting to the bottom. By the way, if this pullback holds and then we get a rotation back up, it would be a %B buy above today's high, and that's only valid for tomorrow. We'll have to see if that maintains that setup into the close. Natty gas still just grinding down. We had 259 roughly as the next target, and 261 so far to low. Gold moving up decently, but now I am watching for this double, or I should say the potential double top pattern if we do not substantially break far above the highs. Remember, we've been watching for a topping pattern. We have some divergences coming in, some waning momentum, but now we at least have a potential setup. So we have another great area to move a stop on a closing basis. On a close below 1916.50. Why? Because then we could get that. Is this a major topping pattern? No, it's a minor topping pattern with a pullback to potentially 1884 area, and it is lower probability since it's against the rotation zone. Nothing going on in silver. Not much going on in copper yet. The JGBs, 10-year bonds, paying close attention to this today at that 50 basis point level. Until we see more intervention, not really focusing on the breakdown area, still using the 129 as the breakdown area. If we do trigger a move, though, above 130, 120, Then it's stand aside because we could see a pretty quick run to about 133.30 area. Euro, not much unless we break down on the bearish side below 108.50. To the bullish side, it's still 109.40. So it's caught in this consolidation pattern. Not much to do there. Pound, still not much going on unless we triggered a bigger pattern, which is a long way off. And we do not have a double top. That is a triple top. Bitcoin, little pullback here to the daily rotation zone. We start breaking, though, below about 22.6. Then about 21.8 is the next pullback target. Tesla, let's see if the gamma juice keeps unfolding. Friday closed above the 62.5, so next key target is 188.69. Then we still have a gap above there behind 194.86 to 198.92. There is not a major topping pattern just yet unfolding. But if we start pulling back below about 176, I'm going to then watch for a pullback and then a secondary reaction going up. There is a clear path move here. There's lots of rotation zones in the way. But no major topping pattern yet. And what else do we have? Somebody wanted NVIDIA. Again, little pullback right now. The major support, this is a long way off from major support. You have major support coming in about 193.12. So far, just a slight gap down. And then it's just coming back to the rotation zone in the prior breakout level. On the triggered inverse head and shoulders, remember NVIDIA earnings not till Wednesday the 22nd. So that is in February, I should say. So that's, I mean, we're a long way off from that. The next major target is still 231.67. This, if you're just looking at this, you have this prior resistance area broken with the rising rotation zone. So as long as you don't get some major support, this would just be a breakout, a retest of the breakout zone, unless you don't close below some key levels. Good morning, business person. I'm thinking crude will hit 90 first, just based off the triggered pattern. Again, based off the triggered pattern, we could return to the to the 200 and these prior topping areas. So well, the gamma, it doesn't affect the gamma. I mean, the gamma just changes much more frequently because of all the short-term options. It affects the VIX, the structure of the VIX. That's why the VIX is somewhat broken unless they rejig the VIX to take into account all the rapidly changing short-term implied volatility. The VIX is based off longer duration implied volatilities, not these short-dated options. Now, in terms of gamma, nothing changes with that because when you get, whether it's short or long-term dating, actually the short-term options at the volume that are getting traded now can drastically amplify the gamma, especially in negative gamma situations. Why? Because the options expire quickly and you have more pronounced gamma moves that have to be hedged rapidly from a dealer perspective, and more dealers are participating in these short-dated options, so they're going to be hedging against them. All right, that's where we sit. Let's see, did I get everybody here? Thanks for putting in all the information. Not seeing any other stocks that I need to go over. With that, because Ford announced their price cuts on the Mach-E. So this was funny. I mean, Ford's gapping down because, and I do a lot of people, Tesla fanatics, contact me. They're like, the Tesla price cuts were bullish, but the Ford price cuts are bearish. I just don't get the logic there. Tesla's up, and they're like, see, Tesla's up huge because of their price cuts. I'm like, Tesla's up huge because of the gamma squeeze from oversold conditions. When will the squeeze stop? Don't know. But Tesla is the highest volume options traded, period. Period. Think about that. Higher than the spiders and the Qs. So, the squeeze will stop when the squeeze stops, and then we'll next watch set up for the next drop. Until then, I will be back after the close. With that, I will see everybody then. Bye.